Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, and today we are making some card with the Paprika collection. You can watch the unboxing of this on my channel, and I'm creating some cards with this, but you can apply these tips and tricks to any of the paper collection or the stash you have. So let's begin. So from the first paper I just cut out these and put them, like we can use these for the card toppers. I also have these some dies and some kind of cardstock dies, and it is also from the same collection, Paprika, and I just gonna keep them at it as it is. And then what happened when the paper comes, it's having the both the sides, like this is the front and this is back. So they have this kind of strips when it's like the front. This strip shows you the back side, so I'm gonna save those also, and you can create a small banners with those. Then I just cut out them, and then I'm gonna put them just like that. And now I have a color palette here. It's having lots and lots of colors, you can see. So I just grab and pull out from my stash these colors, like the red, and I have this kind of one textured one, so this kind of match with this one. Then the little bit of darker shade of red, that is maroon, some orange, the pistachio, a little bit of different shade of blue, bright green and bright yellow, and as well as the brown. And of course we're gonna use black and white if we need it. And if you don't have these cardstock, you can just go ahead and purchase the construction sheets, and you can do work with that also if you are just starting your work. Now each paper tell you some kind of story, so I here kind of I'm talking about particular for this collection, but you can go ahead and apply these rules for any collection or any paper stock out there. So this is the quite a busy pattern, and it's all over pattern. So whenever we are using this pattern, we need a more kind of focal point to it, which is little bit more muted. This is a kind of beautiful and nice pattern, so you want to show this, you don't want to hide this pattern, so you get more out of your paper. Then for this is kind of floral. You can fuzzy cut out and use those like embellishment, or you can use the stripes, or anything will do. This is also you can fuzzy cut out or put it as a background. For particularly this paper, I love to cut them and paste them again, so I'll show you one card with that. And in the back side they have also the all over paper. Now here you have a two option. You can cut into the strips and you can use the one strip, or you can cut it like this way, so you will get this long strip with the multicolor. And like you can use this red for matting, or like I'll show you what I mean. So you can put this like this and you have a nice matting, because this is an all over pattern. This is again kind of busy one, so on this pattern this not gonna work just like that. You need some kind of matting, and then you can put this paper something like this, but you want to focus on that particular thing, so you have to see that at least one or two parts you can see the full image. This is kind of all over pattern. You can use it for matting of the cards or matting of your photos, or you can just use it as the background, as the base, because it's kind of very neutral in color and very kind of small print in that. So this is a little bit talk about the papers, and I have already these sheets which we'll use to make some cards as well as the scrapbooks. So let's see how we can mingle everything. And before that, I took out this paper. So what I'm gonna do, I will cut each paper like 4 1/4. So when I fold it, I will get it to card size base, and I will just fold one piece of that. I will not fold the other piece. Other piece we can use it for like matting or adding any extra texture or banner or stamping something. So in that way what we are going to get is like you get something like pretty matching cardstock all over, or everything gonna matching very nicely. So I'm folding bunch of cards here, so I have a good stash and I can see which is matching well. Now what if you don't have the bone folder and the scoring board? You can just fold your cardstock in a half and you can use X-Acto knife for cutting this or anything, and then you just want to use your fingers, or you can use a credit card or any kind of solid thing to just press and make it firm. So you got that. Yeah, although the bone folder works really nice, but if you are a non-crafter and if you don't have this stuff, then still you can make the cards with that. So as I told you, every pattern paper having their own characters and features. You will learn each and everything, that how you can get more of it. Now if you don't have the trimmer, I love to use trimmer, I'm not very good with knife, but you can use this knife with the healing mat, and you can cut with the help of the scale or ruler. I suggest you, when you use these kind of X-Acto knives or any kind of paper knife, these are very sharp, protect your hand, and don't use these types of scale, because this gonna kind of, they will just peel off little bit of wood because it is made of soft wood. I suggest you to go ahead with the metal ruler, and that gonna work best for you. So for particular this paper, I will just cut the things, and then we'll start making cards. So after this, I'm kind of speeding up this process a little bit faster. Now I have this pattern paper where you can see those white lines, but you can create this technique with any kind of paper you have which has a ultimately large background, and you can cut them and put them together like a puzzle. So you can do that. I'm working with this paper pad, so I'm showing particularly this one, but you can go ahead and use your creativity with any of your paper patterns here. Then I'm just matting it. For matting, I never ever kind of measure it. I just put them on there and then I cut it. Then I have this extra collection, and I'm kind of searching in those that how I can put together. So meanwhile, where I'm sharing these cards, I will show you the process, that how I go with it, or how I do the things. I don't want to cut the process and show you the exact paper or the card. Why I'm doing that? Because in that way you can understand that the process is very important when you are doing anything, and it helps you for maintaining your designing space as well. So then I'm just kind of doing this again and again, although I just want to feel the space, and then I just put that together. Then I want to create some kind of banner for that, and I'm using the paper scraps here, and you can do anything. Basically I want to show these cards without no die. You can use the scissors if you don't have a paper trimmer, or you can use an X-Acto knife, as I told you before. In the next version, maybe I will go with the more fancy things, and I will show you the die cuts, and I will use the coordinated dies and the stamp which came in a kit. It's not a kit, yeah, I built it my kit, but the collection. So sometimes you want to go a little bit simple, and this is the way how you can do it. I just want to add a little bit of dimension, so I put a foam tape behind it. You can do that with the all over the puzzle pieces, or you can skip it. I just decided to pop the middle piece of that mandala, and I like that way. Now you can do the same trick with your stamps also. You can use a big stamp, and or you can fill all the A4 size or whatever card base you want to make, that size, and then you fill the things with the whole stamp. You color them and then cut them accordingly, and then again mat them and stick them together. Still you can get this type of look. that will also an awesome card. The way before I made that kind of cards, but I don't think so I have videos of those, but yeah, you can do that. And then you can add anyways the extra embellishments like the stickers or the, here I'm using the twine and making a bow to add a little bit of extra to your card. Here I'm just skipping the embellishment like the dots or the sequence or neo drops, but you can use that also. Now here's the way I thought that how the pattern gonna pop. Now I decided to make here a frame card, so I just use the pattern paper there and I'm cutting it in the strips, and it's like 1/4 inch strips. And if you don't have the paper trimmer, you can use the X-Acto knife, but still you should draw a pencil line first on the back of the paper, so we'll get the more clean cut with that. And then I'm kind of searching for a right background here, and I thought red would be the nice one. Now after selecting my background, I just cut it and I want to make a kind of a little bit of a gap between the card and it, so I just do that, and then I put this pattern paper, and believe me, when it's a two-sided double-sided pattern paper, it broke my heart that I'm losing one side of the pattern, but you have to do that, no other way. Then I'm just measuring it, and now here I'm just putting the foam tape, double-sided foam tape. Now at this point you can make this card as a shaker card by adding acetate on it, and then you can add those strip borders all around, but here I'm just want to make a window card, so I will just do that. And I'm kind of getting up that sticky things, and I use the static powder here which we use for the embossing thing, but you can use the talcum powder, that also works. Baby powder works best for this kind of techniques. And then I'm giving little bit of foam back on the back side, and then I'm gonna pop the whole thing in between, cause I want that thing like the focal point of my card. And be your own kind of beautiful, it's like an awesome thing to give this card to anyone on the any occasion, and sometimes without an occasion, that also like good thing. And then I'm kind of making the whole framework for me, and you can do it better with the square dies, but I just want to show you no dies, so that's why I'm doing this. And then I'm adding a little bit of stickers which came in a sticker sheet, and saying that how it gonna look nice there or not. If you have any kind of doubt that they will not look good, so you can put them on the acetate and cut them and put them on the acetate, and don't stick them on the acetate. So you can put lots of powder there on the acetate, and then you kind of just shift it around and see how you like. So I put a llama and some flowers there. Now for the next one, and this one is also simple, I choose that texture paper, and then I just pick up the colors from that pattern paper, the flowery pattern paper. Now this is the easy trick to mix and match your cardstocks and colors. Pick the most of the colorful paper from your stash, and then pick colors from those designs. So after that I mat it on the red, and then I just choose the orange one. Now here's the thing, whatever I cut from my first paper, I got all those papers for matting, so in that way I gonna get a nice combinations of the paper pattern here. Now I'm putting that orange on those cardstock, and then I'm kind of putting this, and this is quite a simple one. All these cards are very simple. I'm just kind of putting all the things together, but in between I just want to share some small tricks. Now here I just cut it in a diagonally, and then I will cut it again in a diagonally. Again, if you don't have the proper trimmer, use your pencil and scale, and then of course the knife, and then I'm kind of mixing and matching them, so it kind of giving me that awesome look there. And then I want to stay them together, so rather than missing my card, I just put a tapping paper there, and I'm gonna put everything around there, so that gonna match perfectly all around. And then I will cut everything and the excess pattern paper too, sorry, the excess tapping paper too. In that way all the 4 pieces gonna stay together, and I can stick all those on the main card front. Here I'm using a tape rider gun, but you can use a liquid glue. Liquid glue take little bit time to dry, so most of the times I use this. Now I'm just making one bow there, and very simple, a pretty basic technique to make a bow and add that time on front of the card. Now here I'm using a baker's twine, which is having the very neutral color, and it's a golden one. And then I pick some of the other things like the stickers and all to embellish it. You don't have to follow me to do the same things. I just want to give you an idea that how you can use your stash of supplies, and you can kind of making the simple card into a little bit different way, so it gonna add a little bit of wow factor to them. Now I want to add a fun foam behind it. I want to give a more dimension to it, so now here you can see that I'm using the liquid glue. So whenever you want to add it in a perfect position, and if you are not sure that you're gonna fit it exactly in middle, so at that time you can use the liquid glue, because it gives a little bit of time to fix the things. Now for the next thing I'm using this shine word, and here one simple technique I want to share you, that I want to stick all those letters perfectly that way on the card. So here I'm using a T scale, and then I'm gonna put that thing, and I will not stick everything together. I will just pull out those letters, and you can see in a fraction of seconds you will get a nicely spaced lettering. So this is the another trick. And then I'm kind of adding more stickers to them, and I want to make this card little bit simple outside, and some kind of fun thing inside. So I decided to go with the glitter pen because it says shine, and then I'm kind of making this lines, double lines all over there. This pen is from, I think, Stardust glitter pen, but you can use anything whatever you have in your stash. And then I just pick some flowers from that thing, and then I'm just making the 3 flowers there and some kind of bunches, and kind of making more things all around, drawing some things and kind of doodling, so you can see everything in my card here. Now here I'm using a parallel scale. You can use a T scale also. It's not, you don't need it all these supplies, but sometimes you have a good supplies and good nice of technical things with you that will give a more nicer product at the end. So it's up to you. Then I'm just putting little droplets there because I want to feel that space, and same time I just want to do something very quick in kind of doodling kind of shape. You can make a vine, you can make a flowers, you can make anything. I'm just kind of making whatever I thought at that point. Then I want something nice inside, so I decided to use the old technique, and this is kind of paper folding technique. So I choose a particularly like lightweight paper for this, and then I fold it this way, half and half and in the diagonal, and then I will do that. I will again fold it in half, and you can see these techniques are doing, it's like an old technique. And then I just want to pop inside this whole thing. So I'm kind of crushing everything and putting them together. If you get little bit kind of distracted that exactly what I'm doing, you can just go and watch this again, so you will get an idea. But I'm sure you see this technique before, and the trick here is you have to put the glue first on the one side, put that thing on the card base and then glue it, and just close your card so you can get exactly pop up inside. Now you can put a little bit of flowers inside, the flower petals inside, or you can have the heart shapes inside. You can have a little bit of star confetti inside, whatever you can. So yeah, that's the thing. And then I decided to add something more for decorating inside also, and I'm kind of struggling with it, that what should I put inside, because I like 2-3 sentiments. So I'm kind of putting that and seeing that how it looks, but I'm not sticking it perfectly on the card, so that give me a kind of room to, you know, change the things a little bit. But yeah, you can add the good vibes, you can add the good thoughts and llama and hello and tea and celebrate, everything you can add. And then I finally decided that okay, I'll go with this, be your self. And then I was like, oh my god, it's kind of fitted there very perfectly and nicely, so I don't have to cut that, it's already done for me. And I just put that inside and then just close the card, and there are still room where you can write your message. Now for the next one here, I have this dimensions, and I just decided to cut. Now these teacups are there, and there are lots of teacups, so this design is kind of very busy to my eyes, but still I want to use that tea or the cup theme thing to, you know, kind of creating the card. So again, I will cut this in the 11 inches, and then I need to fold it. So here I started the fold. First of all, I do for 1 inch, then from both the sides, and then it's like 2 and a 3/4. Now those who are confused with 1/4 and 3/4 and half, it's a very simple. If you divide an inch in a 4 parts, you will get a 1/4, but if you divide an inch in a 4 part and you add the 3 parts of that, you will get 3/4. Yeah, that makes quite a simple and easy. And still you can watch this whole process again if you want to, a little bit slow down, so you can get exactly the things. And then I'm kind of folding everything here, and then the two sides are kind of meeting, and you will get this kind of box shape out of it. And this is kind of a pretty easy interactive card with not much more dies and anything. So you can just cut this thing, and then in between I'll use the knife to cut it. Now make sure when you are cutting, you will not cut your surface. So here I decided to use this acetate, so I want the cut as the acetate's width is, but you don't have the acetate, you can use any paper packaging thing. Now here I am using my X-Acto knife to cut exactly the width of the acetate, and be sure to cut little bit more, not much, little bit more room to move that acetate. And then I'm using here a double-sided tape. Be Creative tapes or score tapes are very good for this kind of projects, because they are very strong in adhesive. Just make sure that whenever you using that thing, you should place your things really properly. And then I just put that acetate on their side, and then I again put double-sided tape there, and then I pull off the packing, and it's acetate go through it, and then I just kind of closing that box. Now putting that box on the surface of my table give me a nice straight look, but still sometimes you have that, you know, kind of wonky look because it's a square. And I had this problem with this box, but it's okay. But if you really bother about that, just push it a little bit harder when you're making, and make sure and then press. Now this acetate is kind of floating in there, so I can put anything on this acetate. So now I'm kind of searching for the perfect thing. Now you are a terrific, it's a perfect sentiment that gone with this card. Then I just choose couple of teacup stickers there, and I'm kind of creating one collage there and seeing that how it gonna look. and I'm just putting there. Now if you don't have this collection or thing, then you can become more creative by with your stamps and die cut images. You can create a sea card with the fishes are floating on that acetate. You can create a flowers, you can create a butterflies. You can put, rather than one acetate, you can put a more acetate, or you can cut those acetate in a different shape. The possibilities are endless. I'm showing here a very basic version, but you can do and use your creativity and you can do anything with it. Then I'm kind of cutting that panel in some three small panels, and then I'm gonna stick those just like that. And now you can see that my card is ready. Now I just want to kind of giving to pull that tab, because recipient should know that you have to pull that, otherwise they will not understood that what kind of card is this. So I'm searching in my stash that what should I do, and then I end up with the one thing, and then I just write a little small note behind it. Now you can see that I just choose that leaf, and then I thought, why not, I can put these two tabs there. And then somehow I didn't like that, so I decided to create my own tab. So I'm using this stash of papers and the scrap of papers. I put those two papers together. I don't have to see that it's gonna match together or not. They are coming from the same paper collection, so they will be like matching very well. And then I put a little bit of orange also there, and it's just a leftover piece from previous one. And then I'm also cutting it. Now here I'm just using my scissors to round up those edges. If you have tab dies, you can use those, and you can get more professional look with that. And then I'm just putting everything together, and sorry, my head is in between. And then you can see that this card is complete, and I just write a pull behind that tab so recipient can know. Now this card is gonna fit into the A2 size card, but if you want, I put that tab so it will not fit it on A2. So here I'm using the A5 envelope, but you can just measure before you adding the tabs and extra things, or you can cut the acetate little bit. And then after doing this, I just add a more of the blank paper on the back side, so someone can write their name or kind of message to the recipient. So I'm kind of adding more and more to that acetate. I really like that how those images are floating in the air, and it's gonna look a really nice look. I wish I can do that the full of the fish card with the kind of sea bottom in behind, and I hope I'll show you that in after some time. I don't know where, but soon I will come with the next post where I will use this paper collection, and I will gonna use I will do more than the basic thing. And next time I decided to do something like go with more the paper folding and other techniques, and I will put the sequence or the dew drops at the very last and the end, everything, but this time I just skipped. So these are some images and photos. If you like to see more close-up, you can go to my blog, and you can find all the supply list in the below description. If you want to see more basic cards and pattern paper cards or cards like this, of if you got an idea like this idea that we are not using dies and stamps, just let me know how it works for you or what you want to see more. You can follow me on my social media, and until the next crafty project, have a crafty life. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.